"What's it like there?" Patricia asked, as if he could know the answer. She was only a child, and he was her older brother, and she would have believed whatever he told her. But he didn't answer right away. He chewed his lip, considering the question, slow and careful, as was his way. "You know how she always loved to watch the races? Remember the time she said she wished she could feel what it was like to go so fast, only without the danger of crashing?" Patricia nodded. "I remember." "Well, that's what it's like to be a spirit." He pointed to the sky. "The sun and the clouds are her chariot now, and she can go anywhere she likes." On the surface of the pond, the lily spun slowly, revolving again and again, like the sun around the heart of the earth. Rufyllys spoke in a soft voice. "My world flies past, a ribbon of blue and white. In this moment, I am of the wind. I am forever." Even if it wasn't the best piece of poetry Rufyllys would ever write, it was the one Patricia would most cherish. They burned her outside the walls of Ulvanis, on a hill speckled with gold claria flowers. Rufyllys stood beside her, his thin shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Ilruyn was there too, standing beside Father, eyes glassy as he stared at the flames. At the end, when the time came to say a few words, Rufyllys choked up and couldn't speak. But Ilruyn, you'd have thought he was the poet in the family. The words came pouring out of him, so many words, about how her spirit was like a candle flame in a dark room that kept burning in front of your eyes even after you closed them. How the House of White Sands would shine even brighter now that she was part of it. You'd have thought he'd really known her, not that he'd only met her properly a few months before she died. It enraged Patricia. She said nothing, even though she wanted to. She longed to yell at him, to tell him what she really thought. "You're not one of us. Don't think you can stand there and share in our grief. It's ours, not yours. Your real mother is still alive." Ilruyn had stolen the preciousness of the moment, the private, exquisite pain of it. After that, there could never be forgiveness. Only revenge. Patricia's mother once told her a frightening story, one that gave her such a nightmare that she ran into her brother's room in the middle of the night, wide-eyed and frantic. There was a certain kind of bird called the hyathaw that made its nest in the mist-shrouded mountains to the west of Ulvanis. Most birds, of course, build nests to look after their eggs until they hatch. The hyathaw bird was different. It was lazy and had no interest in waiting around for its young to emerge. It just so happened that the hyathaw's eggs were silver blue, the same color as dragon eggs. That meant it was a simple trick for the bird, under cover of darkness, to roll its egg into a dragon's burrow. The mother dragon would awake the next day, none the wiser, and wrap her coils around the hyathaw egg, sheltering it with her warmth. One by one, all the dragon eggs would hatch, all except one. That one would continue to grow, swelling like something diseased, like a tumor ripening inside the chest of a man doomed to die. And one day, when the mother dragon was out hunting, the baby hyathaw would at last burst from its shell. A full-grown dragon was a match for any bird, but a baby dragon was a much frailer creature. After shaking off the gluey remains of its fractured egg, the hyathaw bird would ruffle its feathers, stretch its wings, and turn and swallow all the baby dragons, one by one. For a while, they'd thrash inside the hyathaw's belly, but there was no way out. Eventually, they'd settle down, accept their fate, and wait as they were dissolved, until they shriveled away down to their bones, which the hyathaw would spit back out. "That, my girl," her mother said, tweaking her nose, "is how you kill a dragon." At least the mother dragon had an excuse. It had been deceived, outwitted by an opponent whose cunning it could not match. Patricia's father had no such excuse. No one had snuck Ilruyn into their family. They had invited him in.